The Miraculous series is now in jeopardy. Man, am I happy to be back. I guess we're just going to combine this video and say that this is like the introduction of the new Sands channel, and then also with the opening of a new outpost for ZAG Japan. So this one actually happened a couple weeks ago. I'm looking right now and it's May 30th, and I think like the first visible article of this came out on May 16th. That was either from Variety or I don't know the other. I don't think it was Animation Magazine. It may have been a Variety article. I'm going to put it in here as well. But it was that was the earliest article that I saw, and I've got some other sources here from Animation Magazine. Of course, that's the main one. That other source was from Kidscreen, I believe. Don't know that magazine or website. This has been a new like opening, or just like a new update and an outpost that ZAG is now planting in Japan. And I found this one really interesting. It must have been at like the end of April. I wish I would have saved the story because I think I saw this first on Instagram. But ZAG first posted that from his Instagram account. He posted a little banner of ZAG Japan. I'm going to throw it up here too. But just a new outpost in Japan, and it's going to be predominantly more focused on Japanese storytelling, and they plan to develop manga, anime series, as well as traditional animated films as well. But for now, this is what we have. I'm going to go through the article a little bit, specifically on Animation Magazine. So, Paris-based independent animation studio ZAG, creator of the global hit franchise Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, has announced the launch of ZAG Japan to expand its international footprint. The establishment of the new facility has been made possible through the support of Japanese partners. And that's something that I definitely want to look into today, because I'm not saying, and this is going to come out of the later part, but I'm not saying that ZAG was not capable of this expansion that they're doing. But I was interested because I'm like, okay, so when he first started ZAG, I'm pretty sure there was partners involved to start that. You know, you also have Toei Animation that also is like the co-producer of Miraculous. So you have studios working together, independent studios working together to help create this. And I would think the same thing. If you're expanding something like this, you're going to need other partners to just help you out. Even if it's things that you can't control, if you need something, of course, you're going to need help to do that. I know that the other bigger update here was actually Kanji Kazahaya has been appointed the Chief Operating Officer, the COO of ZAG Japan. And I didn't really know too much about Kanji before. Literally, I just knew anything about him because of this article and because of this announcement. So supposedly he has over 15 years of executive leadership at Toei Animation, and then he brings deep industry experience and a profound love for animation. Here is what the article says, especially international licensing business experience as well. But I've heard that allegedly he was ZAG's former boss at another company, whether that be at Toei Animation or some other studio. I don't know that for sure. I thought I saw that like in another article. In that case, I would not be surprised, because I would want to work, you know, if I was ZAG, I would want to work with somebody that I've worked with before and have experience with working with before. Obviously, if you have a good relationship with that person too, that's like a huge bonus. I don't think I would actually work with somebody who I didn't like, unless it was like completely necessary. But I guess I can assume for now, not knowing too much about their relationship or any previous relationship that they've had a good relationship. Now, addition to Kanji, we also have another partner that was listed in the Animation Magazine article, Highway Star, which is a Japanese music production and talent company. And they actually, I think they gave two names. It was Heron Bull Kageyama, which is the legendary singer for Dragon Ball and I guess other animes and possibly video games. We also have Nami Tamaki, which is another artist from Highway Star, known for the opening theme for Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. That must be an anime. It's either an anime or a video game. Here's that quote from Kyoko Matsumura, president of Highway Star. He added, "It is our great honor to support the establishment of ZAG Japan as its first Japanese music partner. Our company, Highway Star, has a proud history of contributing to many of Japan's most celebrated animated works. We are excited to embark on this new chapter with ZAG. We are especially delighted that two of our top artists, Hironobu Kageyama and Nami Tamaki, will perform for ZAG." I'm sorry, I'm horrible at these pronunciations. We look forward to sharing this creative synergy with audiences around the world and hope it resonates far and wide. I wish I knew more about those two specific artists. I mean, I'll put pictures of them both up here as well, but they seem like good picks. I mean, I've obviously heard of like Dragon Ball and the whole Dragon Ball series. I'm not very familiar. Well, I'm not very familiar at all with the second artist, Nami. Gosh, like I'm telling you, I went through like 3 or 4 articles so far. All I have seen is overlap in quotes and just literally the same information. It's like they're all taking it from like one source and that's it, which is probably what's happening. Now, I want to focus just for a second on going back to that quote of focus on Japanese storytelling, plan to develop manga, anime series, and then traditional animated films. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, well, if this is going to be ZAG Japan, then what is the difference between that? Like, okay, if we're going to produce animated films, if ZAG Japan is going to produce animated films as well, does he just mean anime films? Because, you know, anime movies, that's a thing. Or does he actually mean other animated, traditional, American animated films? I also wanted to mention that this definitely looks like an expansion off of the ZAG Entertainment brand now that we have a ZAG Japan. And I don't want to say that the Miraculous series is now in jeopardy. I don't want to say that, but it almost makes me think that ZAG and the team are saying, okay, you know, we've had 5 seasons, we're on season 6. We initially planned for 10. I think the update that I got for the 10 seasons was back sometime in March. They planned for 10 seasons. And then we got an update like sometime in April, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was earlier. I'm going to put stuff in here as well. There was also news that we were going to get 14 seasons and that they had a path and a plan for 14 seasons. And of course, as a fan, like I enjoy that. I was curious about this now, considering the financial part of it. Unfortunately for ZAG being a private company, I can't access all of the financials just to see like the revenue per year and, you know, what they've been working with different departments or different income streams, how much they've been making or how much they've saved. I remember, and I'm going to put it in here, I remember there being like an article, it was either in like 2020 through 2022. It was like somewhere in there because 2022 through 2023 was when season 5 was airing. And then we had the movie in the middle. It was July 28th, I think July 20 something of 2023. So we had season 5 going on. We had the movie going on. And that was pretty much the peak, or at least the first act of the series. The other one here that discusses that they exceed 1 billion in global retail sales, and this was in August 24 or August 24th of 21, but later 2021, and that was like the most recent I saw for article wise. I saw one that was like listed like 2022, another source that I had that was like stating the same information. Now it being technically 4 years after that point, and I can say like strongly 4 years because we're like 3 months away from August right now. It's the very beginning of June. Guarantee you that they've exceeded that since 2021. That was 4 years ago. So going off of only those two, I think it's safe to say it was a safe expansion. I just don't want them to get ahead of themselves. That's what I'm a little worried about here. I don't think that they've had like terrible financial problems in the past. With this being in relation to the Miraculous series, though, final thought here. Is there a potential for 14 seasons? Yes, if they've already announced that, which they have, and they have plans and a path for that, they've said that. No, that's fine. That's good from a fan perspective of what I'm speaking now. Of course, I like that, and I want it to go 14 seasons as long as the quality stays. As long as we still have a compelling story, and we have good character arcs, and we have, everything is continuing to be fresh and not stale, but also not overcomplicated. Would I support 10 seasons more? Probably. Coming from a more logical and practical perspective, you can have like a somewhat safe 5 seasons and that's it. But Miraculous has consistently put out 26 episodes for the last 5 seasons, and then we're expected to get 26 or 27, around there, episodes for season 6 as well. That's a lot of episodes that they're pumping out, and I'm pretty sure they've surpassed like 150 or like 120 so far. Definitely 100 episodes, but they're at like 120, 130 so far. I don't think there's a lot of shows out there that have been able to meet 200 episodes or even meet 100 episodes and stay fresh. Again, I'm not saying that the series is necessarily in jeopardy because of this move. I'm just saying that, okay, this year for Miraculous, the 10th anniversary of the show, it's starting back in 2015. Remember, we have the second movie, the sequel, coming out in 2027 or around 2028. I know it got delayed a couple times. So we have that coming out, and we have that to look forward to. But with the show experiencing probably a steady decline, I think it has been experiencing a little bit of a decline ever since of season 6, not necessarily just because of the animation change, but like I said, the first scene of it being season 5 and Adrian and Marinette getting together and, starting out as a couple and they're dating and everything. That was pretty much the end of Act 1, and then we've got like an Act 2, or we might even have 3 acts, hypothetically, like in the show. That's what we're looking at so far. We have a ZAG Japan now in the works. We have some partners following up. Honestly, if everything pans out and we get some anime projects, whether that be actual anime films and some series going on, that's perfect. I like that. Let me know if you have any other speculations about this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode here on the second channel with the Sands channel. And I guess just to provide like a little, I don't want to say update necessarily, but just to fill you in with this. So like SandsWay will continue to stay my podcast. That was my initial thought, as my podcast. So that will stay the podcast channel there on SandsWay. And then here, this will stay the update videos, regular videos, any kind of sort of video, anything dealing with Miraculous or other animated series, films, probably anime in the future. That might be a little spoiler actually. But yeah, probably some anime in the future. Also, podcast clips will be over here as well. Thanks again, and let's see what happens with ZAG Japan.